Are you creeped out by mirrors? Or are you fascinated by them? Or maybe a little bit of both? The modern day mirror has only been around for a couple of hundred years, but humanity has had some form of a mirror using very, very shiny metal or very, very shiny rocks or pools of water. The idea of a mirror has been around since the beginning of recorded civilization. But the modern day mirror is a relatively new invention, and it's fascinating. Mirrors can inspire fear, fascination, inspiration, horror, mystery. I'm not sure we're supposed to look at ourselves this way, as a mirror image reflected back to us. And now we have mirrors all around us in all these devices. The black mirror, as your device, when it's turned off, is a mirror that's black. I find mirrors fascinating. A lot of cultures around the world don't like mirrors. Mirrors are often covered up. There's some weird superstitions around mirrors, especially around used mirrors. Mirrors show up in stories a lot of times as some sort of haunting, strange things. I don't think humanity ever really got used to the invention, even though they've been around for a couple hundred years. Let's see what the secret mirror deck has to say today. Welcome back to Sweet Infinity. My name is Kieran, and this is the Secret Mirror Tarot deck. It's a nice little deck I've had for a little while. The cards are easy to shuffle and hold and use. The artwork has this sort of line work, which is mostly black, but also with elements of red and golden. It basically follows the traditional Rider-Waite symbology, but it has this sort of dreamlike Renaissance or post-Renaissance artwork style. It's sort of cute, sort of whimsical, just very unique. Highly recommend it. Comes with these extra couple of cards that are actually colored, but the rest of them are black and white with elements of red and yellow. So let's shuffle and get started. While I shuffle, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button on the channel if you haven't already. I have a lot of other videos that you might be interested in. I've been doing these readings twice a week for a while now, and I plan to continue. If you are interested in one-on-one work, you can join my Patreon, which is also linked in the description below. I will also be doing some special readings for patrons starting later this year. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, let me know. So let's get started. What is it that we are here to discuss today? Let's ask the deck. Two of Wands. This is the Two of Wands card. And this is about something new that's beginning. She is in between two walls, two worlds. And she's looking in one direction, which is going towards the ocean, the open horizon. What this card usually is about launching the thing that you've been working on for a while. It's about just before that moment where you take that step and you become a different person. You are transformed by your choice. This is the Two of Wands, just before you take that step, that leap. What else we got here? King of Cups. You can rest in the knowledge that your emotional strength will take you and carry you through whatever is coming up for you. Your King of Cups is some kind of father figure or some kind of male or masculine coded person who you looked up to. And this is somebody who is watching you, whether in this life or another life. They are able to guide you. They are helping you along. And this is somebody who allows you, or through whom you can also manage and come to terms with your emotions, reconcile with the things that you need to reconcile. That's part of maybe what is your journey, and that's one of the things that has held you back but at the same time, it can also be the thing that drives you forward. They can be the wind beneath your wings. In your mirror, you find Four of Cups. So you've been in this position where you have been in a kind of stasis, in a kind of inertia. The Four of Cups, there's a lot of energy and muse and inspiration that's been coming to you, but you've been a little in your own head. You've been a little unable to really process everything that's coming for you. The muse, the inspiration, the ideas. You might have let some opportunities go, in fact, or maybe that's what you're afraid of, because you've been in this place where you've been sort of a little bit isolated, a little bit apathetic maybe. And if you notice, his hands are crossed, and there's a defensiveness there. There's a sort of shunning away of the world. So why have you shunned away the world? Ace of Wands, and I want to pick one more card. Four of Pentacles, okay. So when I asked, why have you shunned the world? Well, Ace of Wands is about a new project or a new idea or something that you believed in, a passionate cause or movement that you were part of, or something that you tried to do that was supposed to be your legacy or something that you really believed in. And what you came across was this energy, which is the energy of the hoarder, the energy of the person who doesn't want to share anything, the person who wants to just hold on to what's theirs and never let anyone else have that. There's a certain jealousy, there's a certain bitterness, there's a certain fear of sharing, that if you share or if somebody gets a hold of what you have or something close to you, even just the knowledge that's in your head or the talent that you have, that they'll take advantage of you or that you'll be left with nothing or so on and so forth. So this hoarder energy is very much closed off. It's very much selfish, and not in a good way. It's selfish in a way that we think of, where people who hoard things end up isolating themselves. They end up cutting themselves off from the rest of humanity, from the rest of the world, from the rest of life. Because life is also about sharing. Of course, you should have your little piece of the pie, but the hoarding of it is not a healthy way to live. Hoarding of anything. Gatekeeping, we call it these days, right? And you can't really move in your life anywhere to a new location, a new horizon, a new energy, a new path, a new project, a new business, if you're just locked up. Notice how she's in a dark room, in a corner, alone, by herself, hiding, right? So even though she has things, she has all these golden coins. Maybe it's money, maybe it's some kind of talent, some kind of knowledge, some kind of other resource besides money. But if she's alone in the dark, what is the point of this? Is there any value to any of these things if there's no community, there's no friendship, there's no love, there's no life to share this with? If you have all this stuff, but it's locked up in a room and you're alone in it and you're just counting what you have, what is the point of having it? All these things are there because they are communally, socially created contexts. Money is money because other people value money. Ideas are valued and cherished and useful when they are shared with others. Same with talent, same with knowledge. So the idea is that humans are inherently social beings. We construct ourselves not just in the mirror, but as mirrors of and being mirrored by other people. And you've been missing out on that. The King of Wands is done with the hoarding and the hiding and the boredom and the apathy. The King of Wands is an action-oriented person. The King of Wands has no time for BS. The King of Wands can see through and work through almost anything. And I feel like that's what you're aspiring to be like. You're aspiring to be more of that. And you wish that you had that. Maybe you don't have the energy. Maybe you've been burnt a little few too many times. That's understandable. So you have taken on the persona of the hermit. You'd like to be the King of Wands. You'd like to be somebody who is in charge and has this sort of big daddy energy. But you also have this part of you that just wants to be left alone, that doesn't feel like you have the wherewithal to deal with the mess of humanity. I get that. I get it. Queen of Swords. You can see through a lot of people's BS. You end up calling people out. You end up being critical in a way that has probably lost you some friendships, probably made you persona non grata in some situations. But you call out the truth. I mean, it's not your fault. The truth sometimes hurts. You just call it as you see it. And you know what? There are people who value that. There are people who appreciate that. They might not always be around, they might not always express it to you, but there are people who value that. Look at all these queens. Now we have Queen of Wands. We've got a lot of king and queen energy over here. King of Cups, King of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. You are really coming into yourself. And look at that kitty cat. Look at that cute kitty cat. You are just so done with all of this hiding and pretending and blah, blah, blah. You're done with it. You're ready to take to new shores as the king and queen, and by that I mean the leader that you are. These are not necessarily about monarchs. You don't have to like monarchy. This is about leadership. This is about taking control of your choices, taking control of the aspects of life that you can take control. You can't take control of other people. You can't take control of other people's thoughts and actions and beliefs and ideas, but you can control your own. And the Queen of Wands is the partner of the King of Wands. And she's also the sister of the Queen of Swords, and they're also friends with the King of Cups. These are all characters who are looking out for you and who are you, who are aspects of you. These are all characters who are telling you that you are a leader. And that is one of the reasons why maybe you've said some things that annoyed people, or you have hidden away and left situations where you felt you were not appreciated. It's understandable. And you are just burnt out. Part of you is just so tired. It's just so exhausted. You just feel like you have been hurt over and over and over. And that's okay. You're tending to your wounds. And that's where the hermit energy also comes in, where you are sick and tired of this messy world. Well, after you've been wounded so many times, that's how you're going to do it, right? You're going to shut it off and be like, I'm getting off this train. I'm taking time off for myself. And you are allowed to do that. Okay? You are allowed to do that. The strength that's inside of you. You can cultivate that strength. And what I'm seeing is that you're getting some pretty heavy-duty cards. These are all either court cards or kings and queens, with a few exceptions. You're getting some pretty heavy-duty cards. You are on an amazing journey of really coming to life with your inner strength, when your inner leader, in whatever aspect that you live and operate in or want to operate in. You have leadership abilities. Your strengths have not been recognized yet. And that's okay. Because you're not even here to have them be recognized. You're here to get stuff done. And after all of that, you are here to learn. The Fool is the energy of learning. You don't even care about the accolades and the awards. No, you're not in this for your ego. You are in this because you believe in something and you're willing to learn more. And that is the best kind of leader. A leader is someone who sees in others their best qualities and who sees in themselves the gaps in their own knowledge, which they try to fill either by getting more knowledge or finding people who can fill those gaps and helping them become their best version. And you have that leadership ability. Look at all these kings, queens, and everything coming up here. So whoever you are meant to take that image in the mirror and use it in a way that allows others in the world to become better versions of themselves. If a mirror is dirty, clouded, the image can be distorted. Your job is to clean the mirror for yourself and for others so that people can see a clearer, more accurate version of themselves. And you have a purpose in life. Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords gets out there and follows their heart, follows their soul, follows their calling. You have a calling in life. You have a purpose, a mission. And it is something to do with helping others become better versions of themselves. That's what leaders do. Leaders help others find the leaders within themselves. Leaders become the mirrors for others. And sometimes that means calling people out, and sometimes that means encouraging them, sometimes that means nurturing them, sometimes that means putting some boundaries so that they can follow through on the things they need to do and learn. So go out there, learn and lead. Lead and learn. I hope this has been helpful. Please do check out the other videos on this channel. And if you're interested in purchasing this deck, I'll be leaving a link for it in the description below. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a sweet infinity.